Welcome to Ghostly.
Do these Hollywood stars still haunt this earth?
Oh, it's Skeptic Day. And with every Skeptic Day episode that we do something completely different.
Completely different.
And this is no exception. We are having Freak of the Week on Ghostly. Now, let me first say Skeptic Day is what Ghostly has declared April 1st. We don't play April Fool's jokes on you. We just do a Skeptics Day episode.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun in the past. We've talked about microclimates.
Yeah, that was our intro to the opposites.
Yeah, and then we did where we all told stories and we had to vote on which ones were...
That was Truth or Lies.
Truth or Lies. So we've had a lot of fun on Skeptics Day.
We have had a lot of fun on Skeptics Day. I don't know how much fun this is going to be. For me, at least. I know for you, it probably will be.
Yes.
But let me tell you guys about Freak of the Week. Freak of the Week is a podcast that comes out every week, and you can find it wherever you find great podcasts.
When it's on season.
Yeah, when it's in season. You can find it wherever you find great podcasts. And it is an improvised podcast.
Yes.
Totally made up.
Yes.
I would say 99% of the topics that they talk about, totally fictitious.
Yes.
Although they did just release a narwhal episode, and that narwhals do exist.
They do. They do.
Yeah. Oh, so you disagree with Hickney on that?
I do disagree with Hickney on that one. Yeah.
Okay. So, but I will say that all of the characters on that are completely fictitious.
Yes.
So we've been on.
I was just going to say we've both been on.
Not just as Ghostly, which we have been on as Ghostly, but we're on a lot as individual characters.
As people that are going on there and portraying other people.
Yeah. So that is how I think we should preface this episode with.
That's enough information, hopefully.
We wanted to give you a taste of what Freak of the Week is like, but on Ghostly.
Yeah.
So we mixed the two together to create our Skeptics Day episode. And I'm your host, Pat.
And I'm Rebecca.
So we have some shout outs. There are two ways to get a shout out on Ghostly. The first way is to give us a review on Apple Podcast. Of course, Rebecca, we always prefer those 5-star reviews, but we will read any and all reviews that come our way. The second way is to become a member on Patreon. Just go to ghostlypodcast.com and click on Patreon in the menu bar, and we have a few different tiers to choose from. We have a whole bunch. We just started a new tier for anybody that wants to sponsor an episode of Ghostly. It's a higher tier, but we have all kinds of tiers in there.
We do, and you'd be surprised how not too bad it is to just get some extra Ghostly, to get some fun. I mean, there's a whole other show, Ghostly X. There's AMAs. There's
Rebecca's creepy bedtime stories.
So many things.
Yeah,
so,
we've been having a lot of fun with that, and we hope that you join us. Anyway, so you want to read the review?
Sure, I can read we got a review here from Lowry 106, and it's love this podcast, 5 stars.
All right.
I just recently found this podcast and I absolutely love it. I typically lean towards #Team Believer, but Pat Facts definitely got me thinking and asking questions I normally wouldn't.
Well, that's awesome.
Thanks for all you do. I dread the day I am all caught up and actually have to wait the 2 weeks for an episode.
But that's why we have Ghostly X now.
Absolutely.
So, okay, and we do have some new patrons on Patreon.
Yes.
We have Becky.
And we have Natalie.
Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun over there in Patreon world. As I said, I hope you can join us there, but we have some listener mail.
We do have some listener mail. So I'm excited about this week's listener mail because it is from one of our Patreon subscribers. Not that you have to be a Patreon, to get your stories on here, but this is somebody that we actually met.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've met him a couple times.
Yeah, and so I'm excited to share. So this is from Ta, who is actually a tarot card reader.
Oh, nice. Okay.
He's a Tarot by Ta. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he's got 2 short stories for us today. So number 1, mysterious voice saves my life, ?
Ooh.
I may not have lived beyond boyhood at all had it not been for the intervention of some mysterious person or who or whatever it was. In short, when I was a young boy, if I hadn't heard an unfamiliar elderly male voice call my name as if from somewhere nearby, I'd have been killed by a freak accident. Because I heard someone call from me by name, as confused as I left the part of the house that, just a moment later, would be struck by a runaway car.
Oh, geez.
I would have been sitting right where the foundation caved in. I would have been utterly crushed. There was no family member matching that voice, no neighbor, no visitor at the time, nobody. To this day, neither I nor any member of my family, friends, or neighbors at the time can explain who or what called for me. If I hadn't heard someone call my name from somewhere else in the house, I would have been killed. It's that simple.
Wow.
My take, I simply have no idea what to make of that. I'm just glad it happened.
Okay.
Number 2, premonition dream of my father's death, ? I rarely, if ever, remember my dreams. And when I do, they are all particularly repeating sequence of events. Blah. In any case, I had a dream that my brother and sister and I were gathered around my father like we did when we were children. I remembered he was sort of asking me as the oldest son to explain things to my siblings and take care of them, for he was going to die soon. I woke up from that dream in the middle of the night thinking, first, that's odd, I don't often remember dreams, and second, when I do, they're usually that boring pattern. This was not that. Unable to go back to sleep, I stayed up for a bit. I dismissed it as first as a strange subconscious thing surfacing, a fear perhaps. For, in fact, my father was very ill in the hospital at that time. However, within a half hour, I got a call from my grandparents telling me that my father was on death's door and that I should rush to the hospital. He died that night. In fact, I had to explain things to my siblings, but also to the rest of my family, given the particular circumstances which brought about his death. My take? I don't know what to make of this either. It was what it was, and that was that. Strange? Yes. Conclusive of anything? No.
I like the way that Todd thinks about things like that. You know, could be paranormal, might not be. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, that I like that approach. So thank you so much, Todd. We really appreciate you and your stories.
Absolutely. And if you have a story, do you want to tell them, Pat, how they can send them to us?
Yeah, they could just email us at info@ghostlypodcast.com, or you can use the contact us form on ghostlypodcast.com. You can also, one of our favorite ways is to mail us an actual letter in the mail. It doesn't happen often, but we love it when we get those things. And the P.O. Box is P.O. Box number 264, Geneva, Illinois, 60134.
All right.
And again, most of you guys are not going to catch that when I say it. I could say it 10 times and you wouldn't catch it. So go to ghostlypodcast.com, scroll to the bottom, and it's in the footer of every page.
Absolutely.
All right. So, we got to do polls.
We got to do polls.
On Skeptic Day.
On Skeptic Day. Hey, listen, you've been winning, so none of this whining here.
Oh, jeez.
All right. In our last episode, we talked about Bela Lugosi's apartment.
Yes.
And I will say I don't believe either of us felt super strongly about it.
Well, I did.
Well, you did. You felt pretty strongly.
I felt super strongly that it wasn't.
And I was not as strong that it was. So that seems reflected in the votes. So we had yes at 20%.
Whoa.
And no at 80%. That's about the strongest ever.
Yeah. And
for a no.
Overall rating, which people can now vote on how haunted something is, 1 being not haunted at all, 10 being the most haunted place ever, it got a 2.55.
Wow, that's pretty low.
It is pretty low. How low can we go, though?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Now, this episode's going to be a little different today. Skeptics Day, we don't always vote on Skeptic Day, depending. So we'll see.
I don't think we're going to do a vote for this one.
Okay.
Before we even do anything, I don't think that would make sense for us to do that.
Yeah, I mean, we have a question and we're going to debate it, but you'll hear.
Yeah, and feel free to give us your opinions on Ghostly Society or on our Discord server.
Yeah, if you join Society every so often, we post up that information for the Discord, and you can join us on there for
completely free.
Some chat.
Completely 100% free. You can join Discord and get in on some of the nice chat we have.
Absolutely.
All right. So here is Dr. David Hickney and a expert, Dr. Simon
Scumbaje.
Dr. Simon Scumbaje. Throughout our time doing Ghostly, we've met a lot of great people. People that don't always fit into our episode schedule. And even when they do, we try to focus on the topic of the episode, and we don't really get a chance to get to know them as a person.
That's why we came up with the idea of Ghostly X. Ghostly X will come out on the weeks when there is no regular Ghostly episode.
And it'll have interviews with amazing people and listener feedback from previous episodes. We also can't wait to talk about the paranormal in the news.
We're very proud of this project, and we can't wait to share it with you.
Ghostly X is a Patreon exclusive. You can start listening now by going to ghostlypodcast.com and clicking on the Patreon link in the menu bar to become a patron and help support Ghostly by listening to our brand new show. All right, so we have a very special episode for Skeptics Day.
Your favorite day of the
year.
year.
My favorite day of the year, but this time I decided to do something a little different.
You always do.
We were once invited on an episode of Freak of the Week. Remember that, Rebecca?
I vividly remember that.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
We were invited by its host, Dr. David Hickney. But I felt like in that episode, we went in a little unprepared.
Well, you kind of have to with Freak of the Week. I mean, that's the fun of it. You just kind of go in and figure it out. And
we were like the experts, and I felt unprepared. So
I was prepared.
But we did talk about the ghost of Dave Coulier.
We did. It was fascinating.
And the one main issue that I had with that is that Dave Coulier is not dead yet. So how can there actually be a ghost then, right?
Well, I mean, I think we did figure that out.
Well, I don't believe we did. But anyways, in that episode, I wasn't exactly a nice person or as nice of a skeptic as I usually am. So I owe Dr. David Hickney a formal apology. I am truly sorry for my attitude during that episode, and we truly enjoyed having you on Ghostly X. So let me welcome Dr. David Hickney to Ghostly. Doctor, I am so glad you could join us.
Hi. Apology accepted, I guess. But wow, that was...
Yeah, because he was kind of a jerk. I remember. He kind of tried trying to take over your show.
I used other words that we can't use on Ghostly.
Right.
No.
Right.
Yeah, wow. Also, I'm finally on Ghostly.
And you're at Ghostly HQ.
Right. Bite me, Terry Carnation. Ha-ha. I'm a little confused though. Why am I on Skeptics Day?
Yeah, that is a very
I was
good
excited.
question.
I was like, Skeptics Day with all the believers.
That is
true believers. Are my followers the true believers?
And
I'm generally a believer. I do decide whether I believe in something or not. But I'm an open-minded believer, I usually would say. So
I would say too,
it's
yeah.
interesting that you have me on Skeptics Day.
So for Skeptics Day, I thought it would be a good idea to clear the air a little and start over again.
Okay.
There's not many opportunities that I have to bring a guest such as yourself onto Ghostly. We usually have people that are talking about the specific topic that we're talking about, and I felt that wasn't really your thing. So to make sure we don't have the same experience with my outbursts, we want to talk about celebrities that have actually passed away and hear some evidence of their spirits. So I thought that, you'd be a great guest for this too.
Just to clarify on the Dave Coulier thing, it's not that he's dead. He's alive. We know Dave Coulier is alive.
Right, absolutely.
But the whole point is that when a celebrity's career dies, a doppelgangerish ghost of them comes into being.
Yes. Well, and we had many reports on that. Yeah.
These celebrities were all fairly famous when they died.
Okay.
So I brought in an expert on celebrity ghost encounters. And just to make you feel more comfortable, Dr. Hickney, we contacted your proxy, Jimmy, and had him vet out this expert using the same process that a regular Freak of the Week experts are vetted.
Well, I'm sure he's fantastic then.
Yeah, absolutely. So?
Yeah, so please welcome to Ghostly, Dr. Simon Skumbaye. Did I pronounce that right?
Very close. It's Dr. Simon Skumbaye.
Skumbaye.
Yeah. That's close
Thank you.
enough.
Very exciting.
And the doctor is coming to us via phone. So, so
yes,
just so you know,
I'm in a lead-lined room at the moment because that's where my brain waves work the best.
Oh,
I get that.
Sure.
All right. Dr. Skumbaye, what makes you an expert in celebrity ghost?
Well, I am the lead researcher in the parapsychological division here at the Institute for Metasupernormal Physistonkadocious Studies in Alberta, France. So we study celebrity and those who have passed beyond and what their effects on both the physical and the metaphysical planes are. So we've done tons of research on this very subject.
Wow.
Seems like a pretty good expert, right?
Yeah, and Alberta, France is a hotbed of paranormal activity, so it's a great place to learn.
And funkadocious. I mean, that sounds very
legit.
Yeah,
legit.
Yeah. Absolutely legit.
Yeah.
Absolutely legit.
All right, so I thought we would just get right into it. And I came up with a list of celebrities, and I shared it with Dr. Skumbaye. Skumbaye. Sorry, that's
Skumbaye.
That's a hard one for me. Okay. Skumbaye.
Is it that south side of Chicago?
It is. It is. Yep.
Okay.
It gets in the way of everything, Doctor. I'm
Seems
sorry.
Like it.
It does. That's why I chose this particular profession, just because it was easier for me to, with my name, to kind of lead into that.
Sure.
All right, so these celebrities have passed, and they do have some creepy ghost stories being told about them.
Okay.
So first up, I thought we would go with a legend, just a legend. Okay, Lucille Ball.
Oh, okay.
One that you probably have heard of,
yeah,
Dr.
I've heard
Hickney.
Of Lucille Ball.
I mean, I know you stopped watching movies at a certain point, but
I watched TV throughout that whole time. I've seen I Love Lucy a million times over. Sure.
Oh, awesome.
Now we're gonna do this a little. It's somewhat like Ghostly, right? We're gonna give a little history, and then actually our expert is gonna be the one giving the ghost stories today, right? That we're gonna chat about.
Yeah, he's gonna be giving the evidence.
The evidence, I should say.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Yes.
So let me go over a little history of Lucille Ball. She was born on August 6th, 1911, to a Baptist family in New York. Her family moved around a lot. They moved from New York to Anaconda, Montana.
Anaconda?
Yeah.
Montana.
Yeah.
That sounds like a made-up town.
It is not. And then to Trenton, New Jersey. Then to Wyandotte, Michigan.
Wow.
Yeah. This was all before Lucy was 3 years old. And at the age of 3, her father passed away. He died of typhoid. Lucy recalled little from the day her father died, except a bird getting trapped in the house, which caused her a lifelong ornithophobia.
Wow.
You know what that is?
Yeah, it's
good
fear
doctor?
of birds.
Fear of birds.
Fear of birds, yes. The doctors, yes.
Yeah. You got to be specific which doctor you're talking to.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll cover for each other.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
They moved back to New York, and her maternal grandparents helped raise Lucy and her brother Fred in a summer resort town called Celeron, which had its own amusement park. Sounds pretty fun, huh?
Yeah, I wish I had an amusement park around where I lived.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, the abandoned ones, those are usually the most fun, I find.
Oh, those are great.
Yeah.
So 4 years later, Lucy's mother remarried to Edward Peterson. Edward's parents looked after Lucy. They were a Puritan Swedish couple who banished all mirrors from the house, except one over the bathroom sink. You got to check yourself before you leave the house.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
Chickadee check
You
yourself.
also need the bathroom one so that you can channel Bloody Mary if you need to.
Yeah, and we have tried that on Ghostly, by the way. So.
Oh, how is she? I haven't seen her in a while.
It didn't work.
He was with me, so I think the skeptic just probably
Too much negative skeptical energy.
Yeah,
something.
That's the thing people don't understand about Bloody Mary, though, is like everybody hears the negative stuff, but she can be really helpful sometimes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she was not helpful at all to me.
That's
so.
too bad.
I feel bad for Lucy, though, man.
Yeah, well,
she keeps getting raised by grandparents.
Yeah, Lucy was caught admiring herself in the mirror and was severely chastised for being so vain.
Wow.
Yeah. When Lucy was 12, her step-grandfather encouraged her to audition for his Shriners organization that needed entertainers for the chorus line of its next show. And receiving praise while on stage was the thing that made all the difference for her.
Okay, so I'm so sorry. So the grandparents were very puritanical, and she couldn't have mirrors in the house, and she got chastised for looking in the mirror. But when she was 12, it was like, you know what? You should go join this chorus line and let the people look at you out there.
Right, but I mean, they're like also the Shriners as an organization are very, out there and
Yeah, they ride little cars.
Right, or little cars or the giant bicycles.
Yeah,
or, they're very over the top when they present themselves. It's not something you would think of puritanical people being involved in.
I know, and
Life is full of mysteries.
But that's what did it for her. Lucy attended John Murray Anderson's School for the Dramatic Arts. Lucy later said, about that time in her life, all I learned in drama school was how to be frightened. Lucy's instructor felt she would not be successful in the entertainment business and were unafraid to directly state this to her.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to skip ahead a lot in the story here. In 1940, Lucy met Cuban-born bandleader Desi Arnaz while filming the Rodgers and Hart stage hit Too Many Girls. When they met again on the second day, they connected immediately. And they stopped and were married on November 30th, 1940. Although Arnaz was drafted into the Army in 1942, he was classified for limited service due to a knee injury, probably from playing the bongos too much.
With his knees, that's never a good way to play the bongos.
No, definitely not.
Right.
He stayed in Los Angeles organizing and performing USO shows for wounded GIs and the ones that were brought back from the Pacific at the time. And eventually, Lucy was in a radio show called My Favorite Husband, and CBS wanted to make it into a television show. Lucy agreed, but wanted her real-life husband, Desi, cast as her husband. Now, the CBS executives were reluctant, thinking the public would not accept an Anglo-American redhead and a Cuban as a couple. I guess if she had blonde hair, it would have been fine.
Maybe.
Well, it was black and white television, so it was really hard to tell the difference anyway.
That's a good point.
Sure. CBS was initially unimpressed with the pilot episode, produced by the couple's Desilu production company. The pair went on the road with a vaudeville act, in which Lucy played the zany housewife wanting to get into Arnaz's show, and given the great success of the tour, CBS put I Love Lucy into their lineup. So, fast forward again. After all of this, on April 18th, 1989, Lucy was admitted to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles after experiencing chest pains. She was diagnosed with a dissecting aortic aneurysm and underwent surgery to repair her aorta, and successfully 7-hour aortic valve replacement surgery took place. Shortly after dawn on April 26, this is 8 days after that procedure, Lucy awoke with severe back pain. and then she lost consciousness. She died at 5:47 a.m. at the age of 77. Doctors determined that Lucy had succumbed to a ruptured abdominal aortic aneurysm and that it was not directly related to her surgery. And a greater incidence of aortic aneurysm is seen in cigarette smokers, and Lucy had been a heavy smoker most of her life.
Well, with her voice, that's not surprising.
Well, also,
she kind of had that.
Most of her shows were sponsored by cigarettes.
Well, that's true. Back then,
definitely.
Probably had like free cartons of Winston's all over the place.
Probably.
Yeah. So that brings us to the ghost stories. Dr. Scumbaje, what do you have for us for dear Lucille Ball?
Well, Ms. Ball, or as she has also been known, Mrs. Ricardo, Mrs. Carmichael. She had many aliases throughout the years because of the many changes which she went through in her life. Many people feel that they feel the spirit of Lucy about them whenever they're trying to do something which is a little mischievous or a little bit naughty. Some people claim to have seen Lucy when they've been trying to do things. For instance, as one does if one is trying to, say, for instance, sneak onto your husband's band show, if you're trying to sneak into his orchestra to play a role, as many women did back in the 50s. Some of them would claim that they saw Lucy from the side of the stage winking at them as they would try to do these things. Even now, after she has passed, they sense the spirit. They see her in the wings. It's something that they reach out to her. For instance, if you get locked in a bank vault accidentally, as many people do, sometimes they'll see.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
when you're trying to access your monies in a trust fund, which has been left to you by your late husband, as was done to Lucy Carmichael.
Right.
Wait. Okay, so that seems more like Lucy the character than Lucille Ball. Do you have
she
anything?
was quite a character.
Yeah,
she absolutely was a character. That's why so many people feel an affinity for her, because her force of personality has been so strong over the years.
Okay. Has anybody seen her do anything like the ghost of her do anything specifically?
I actually have a personal experience with the ghost of Lucille Ball.
What?
Oh, Dr. Hickman does, yes.
Wow, how perfect.
Anytime I eat chocolate, I get this crazy chill and then an urge to just start shoveling chocolate into my mouth frantically.
Yes.
Absolutely.
This sounds
I think
like
a lot of people have had that.
They call this the Lucy Reflex. There's even a scientific name for it.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. I think we are talking about the character, which again, I don't know if the character would have a ghost per se. I want to focus on the actor. The actual actor.
Right.
Well, that's why she always wanted to be on the show. Right?
Yeah.
Because she knew she was an actor.
She knew she was an actor.
I've also heard occurrences of people really struggling with cough syrup.
With cough syrup.
Yes.
Yeah, like they keep trying the cough syrup over and over again, and then they start slurring their words, and they can't figure it out. And people say it's the ghost of Lucy.
This is another
right. It's specifically that's Vita Vita Vegemin syndrome that you're speaking of.
Oh my God!
Right.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Again, it has a scientific name, and that will happen to people. And when they do this, then they claim that they see the ghost of Lucy Ricardo, who is
no, she was Lucille Ball. She was never
Ricardo. Well, she was Ricardo at that point.
She was Ricardo then,
she
and then
not.
Of course she became Carmichael, and then of course in the late '60s she married William Holden and adopted a dozen different children.
Dr. Scumbaje. Okay. All right.
Well, wait. I have a question. So I had a friend tell me once, and I didn't put it together at the time.
Mm-hmm.
She was telling me that she was tired of the wine that she normally was drinking, and she thought I could make it better myself. And she's like, I don't know why. She's like, I just had this urge to put a tub outside and
Yes.
walk around in some grapes.
Okay, that's
and
a
she
classic.
said she
Spirit
heard
of Lucy.
a voice telling her to do this.
That's happened to me.
Yes.
I've actually spent a night drinking wine and woke up the next morning with purple feet.
No, okay.
Yes.
This is no. This is definitely a classic Lucy character. This is I Love Lucy.
These are all
No.
true.
You're not getting okay. We're gonna move on. Okay. This is getting out of hand.
All right.
Okay.
Before we move on, I got to decide real quick. I do believe in the ghost.
I was just going to say, no, we do need to,
absolutely.
we got to give these a
Yeah.
rating, just like we do. So
Oh, you guys do ratings. That's right.
we do.
So what would you give it on a scale from 0 to 10,
12.
Doctor? 12? How can you give it a 12?
Wow.
It's only 10.
Because I've had
Wow.
personal experience. It's like I feel it
Oh
in
my
me.
god. All right,
Yeah.
Rebecca.
well, no, I want to hear what the experts here say first. So Dr. Scumbaje, what would you say?
15 and a half.
15 and a
it only goes up to
half.
10.
Yeah. Well, I just, again, as Dr. Hickney was saying, personal experience and, that little touch extra because, I could feel it in my pineal gland.
Okay.
Right.
Oh.
Also, he's an expert. He's
Okay.
Pineal
All right.
gland.
All right.
All right, so I'm gonna okay. So you seem upset, so I'm gonna give it an 8.2, just because I feel
That's
like
8.2. We can't give points even.
okay, so 8.
Why not?
I'll-
It's between
I
1
mean,
and 10.
I mean, I just
Right.
That's the ghostly rule. I don't know why, but
I mean,
that's
because I
what-
haven't had
supposed to be an
anything to me
integer.
personally, but I, a friend had that, and these guys seem pretty.
Okay. All right.
How about for
Well,
you?
I'm going to go 0 because this is all about the character. How could the character have a ghost?
I think you need
I'm
to
afraid
reroll
you're
the
skewing the curve here
Okay.
with your rating. That's just not
Oh,
fair.
that's true.
There is no curve. There's no. It's
It makes
just
it
our
harder for the rest
personal.
of us to pass.
Okay, but it's just our personal beliefs. Okay, it's just I don't personally believe the character. So, okay. Let's just move on. Okay.
Okay.
So the
All
next one that I picked, Rebecca actually is going to do the history for it. Do you want to just say who it is?
So we're going to talk about Alan Rickman.
Oh, I've heard of him.
One.
I was going to say,
no,
have
I-
you
I
heard
would
of
say-
him?
Yes.
Yes.
I would say out of all of
Interesting character.
Yes.
this is one that I respect the most.
Wow.
And like I have a place in my heart for
Do
Alan
you have an
Rickman.
issue with Lucille Ball?
yeah.
I
that's
mean,
what that
no,
sounds like.
I don't necessarily.
Everybody loves Lucy. Everybody.
Yeah,
Everybody.
I don't play favorite.
That was a
everybody
show.
celebrity
That was a
ghost.
show. Okay.
But we all love her. Everyone does.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just talk about Alan Rickman
All right,
here
all right.
before Pat gets too upset.
Okay, so I can calm down a little bit.
Yeah. So Alan Rickman was born in London, February 21st, 1946, and passed away January 14th, 2016. He was an English actor and director who was known for his distinctive deep voice and many roles of film and stage. So he was born with a tight jaw, which I'm not sure medically what that is, but it explained his languid tone of voice. Very distinctive.
That makes sense. Yeah.
His father died when he was 8 years old, and his mother raised him and his 3 siblings, mostly alone. She was remarried for a few years, but mostly by herself. He excelled in art throughout school. He went to the Chelsea College of Art. He also, art and design. He later went to the Royal College of Art from 1968 to 70. And while he
Wow.
did study drama, he actually focused on graphic design.
Oh.
Yeah, Dr. Hickney, do you know anything about
Interesting.
graphic design?
I don't personally, but I hear that the producer of my show has a degree in graphic design.
Yeah.
which I don't know how that works.
Right. You've never met him, really. Or one
Once.
time,
Once,
right?
yeah.
Okay. That Nick Mataragas guy.
Yeah.
Right. So he felt it was a more stable profession as a young man. After college, he and some friends actually opened a graphic design studio. And while they were successful, he decided after a while at the age of 26 that he was going to go into acting. So he actually went to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art for 2 years at the age of 26, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
After graduating, he performed on the stage throughout the 80s, and as part of that, he performed with the Royal Shakespeare Company and was given the lead role in their performance of Dangerous Liaisons, or Les Liaisons de Danger. I just decided to go with the English version of that
But I
name.
love, that the Shakespearean part of that.
Yes, definitely.
And the next actor has some Shakespearean. part of
Oh,
it, too.
interesting.
Don't
Yeah.
get ahead of yourself. We're still talking about your favorite
I know.
one.
I know.
Right?
I'm so excited about this.
All right,
I'm
so
super excited.
This show eventually made its way to West End in 1986 and then to Broadway in 1987, where he won a Tony for his performance. So this is when Hollywood took notice of Rickman and he got his big break. He was offered the role of the villain in Die Hard opposite Bruce Willis.
Oh, yeah.
He actually almost didn't take the role. Over the next 3 decades, Rickman worked as one of Hollywood's most famous leading men in films like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Sense and Sensibility, Love Actually, and famously the Harry Potter films. He also continued to act on the stage.
Wow.
In his personal life, Rickman met his wife at the age of 18. Rima Horton was 19, and they would stay together for the rest of his life. They married in a secret private ceremony in 2012. They did not have any children. Rickman was the honorary president of the International Performers Aid Trust. The organization assists artists and performers around the world who are challenged by poverty, helping them to hone their craft for a brighter future. He was also an active patron of the charity Saving Faces.
Wow.
In August of 2015, he suffered a minor stroke, which led doctors to discover that he had pancreatic cancer.
Oh, no.
And he only told a few close friends about it, and he died in London at the age of 69.
Oh,
so I thought I'd read some tributes from fellow actors. Kate Winslet remembered Rickman as warm and generous, adding, and that voice, oh, that voice. Helen Mirren said his voice could suggest honey or hidden stiletto blade.
Oh.
Emma Thompson remembered the intransigence which made him the great artist he was. His ineffable and cynical wit, the clarity with which he saw most things, including me, I learned a lot from him. Colin Firth told The Hollywood Reporter that as an actor, Rickman had been a mentor. Sir Ian McKellen wrote, behind Rickman's mournful face, which was just as beautiful when racked with mirth, there was a super active spirit, questing and achieving, a superhero, unassuming but deadly effective.
Wow. I mean, he seemed
Quite a tribute.
like just an amazing man. you know?
Right? Absolutely.
Wow. What are your thoughts about the history there?
I mean, it's amazing. I haven't seen most of those movies because I'm still catching up.
Have you ever seen Alan Rickman?
I saw the first Harry Potter movie. I've seen it.
Oh, you have? Okay.
okay.
What did you think of it?
I mean, it's pretty wild to think about all these things in our world, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
In
lot.
our world. It's not, I mean, that's...
Yes.
I mean,
it's
it's hidden.
true.
It's hidden to most of us because we're muggles, but
Yeah, it's hidden in
Right.
fiction.
I do have to say that I'm a bit conflicted
Okay.
about the legacy of Mr. Rickman here.
Oh.
Yeah, I understand what his peers say about him, and he was obviously a great thespian and a teacher. But people forget he was an internationally wanted terrorist.
What?
Yeah, he absolutely. He was an internationally wanted terrorist. Most people don't know this. I mean, they don't think about it when they give him such a glowing eulogy, but he did indeed do that.
That is
Plus,
true. As a child, that like his name struck fear in me. I do remember that.
Wait, well,
right?
No, I mean,
It's very true.
but they would have just arrested him then. They wouldn't have let him be in...
Well, they didn't have time to after he fell off the Nakatomi Plaza like that. I mean, there was no way for them to arrest him at that point, but that's why I think his reputation is somewhat muddied.
Yeah, well, and he went by a different name, I think, right? That also is
that's
how
what
he
was-
alluded.
yeah, the alias of Hans Gruber at that point.
Oh,
right.
is what he was going under.
Okay,
Right.
that's Die Hard. Okay, all right, let's... Okay,
He did
I've
die
never-
very, very hard.
I've never
He
watched
hit-
Die Hard,
That's
but
true.
I've heard of Hans Gruber.
no, but that's a movie. It's an action movie that some people think it's like Christmas based. I don't believe that. I believe it's...
Sounds like a Christmas movie to me.
It just seems like it is just an action movie that's set around Christmas time. But anyways, that is not where I want to go with this, because I do not believe that was Alan Rickman. That was him acting in that
Well,
role.
I mean, certainly that wasn't all of Alan Rickman, right? Dr.
No,
Savage?
Exactly. He was. It turns out that his latent metaphysical powers that he was able to later channel as Severus Snape was something which would save him time and time again and allow him to cross the threshold between the normal mortal world and the metaphysical world. So I will definitely give that to him. He was very strong,
but
very strong in the metaphysical.
That makes sense because it's easier to become a ghost if you're a wizard.
Wait,
Exactly.
but
that is true.
But no, but that's
Exactly.
But that was Harry Potter. That was
Severus Snape.
no,
Harry
but
Potter's still alive.
But that's the
when he
movie
was
Harry
Severus
Potter.
Snape,
That's in the movie. It is not.
Okay.
It's a character. It is.
He was quite a character. You're absolutely right about that.
You said that
And
about Lucy too. I mean, come
Well,
on.
you're bringing up a lot of characters here. I mean,
You
the
are
fact
bringing
that he
up all
was-
the characters. I'm not bringing up any character. I'm bringing up the actor.
Can I-
We're
The fact that he was able to transmogrify himself into
transmogrify with
not only to a terrorist and a wizard, but also an alien.
an alien.
Uh,
What are we? Wait, come on, guys.
Oh,
By-
that's a.
By Grathbar's hammer, the amount
By
of
Grath-
good he did in that form was amazing.
Can I just say, I also have a personal experience with the ghost of Alan Rickman.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
I can believe it. Yeah.
Once in a while, I will sit down in my basement apartment at my sister's house and put on some Alanis Morissette. And instead of her voice, I will hear Alan Rickman's voice.
Oh my
Uncanny.
god! All right.
Oh.
Okay. All
Now,
right, guys.
I will also say
That's-
there are many as a 20-something woman. There's a lot of us that remember this, and I think he comes to us in our dreams in spirit form as Colonel Brandon.
Wait, why would he? Why would he come as a character to your dreams?
Well, I mean,
Rebecca?
it's like one of the most romantic,
I think that's called a fantasy, Rebecca.
roles. No, no, it's definitely Alan Rickman's spirit in the form of Colonel
No,
Brandon.
Absolutely.
no, it can't be. That is impossible.
You
This
just need
is
to open your heart to Colonel Brandon.
no. I'm not going to open.
You
All right.
do. You do.
You know what? You know what?
I'm actually writing an article about the many lives of Alan Rickman, and touching on all of these different phases. It's almost
He
like
lived-
the Holy Trinity.
He lived
Oh.
one life,
the
Dr.
holy
Scumbaje.
Rickmanity.
He lived one life, Dr. Scumbaje.
Hey,
that was
now-
it.
Now, I thought you weren't going to get upset in this
I'm trying not to get
episode.
upset. I mean, I
This is
planned this out
science, sir.
perfectly.
I don't-
It was supposed to be that he was going to be an expert on the celebrities.
He
and
is. He's
and
he's
telling
not.
us.
No, you're an expert on the characters.
Hey. You're getting to that point where you were with our show that you just had to apologize for at the beginning of this show. So you might want to calm down just a little bit.
No.
Is this what he was like on your show, Dr.
It's getting close. It's
Okay,
getting close.
you know what?
Oh, that's
You know what?
That's unfortunate.
You know
That
what?
is unfortunate.
You know what? We're going to take a little break while I calm down, and then we're going to come back with the last celebrity. And this one is a doozy. All right.
Hello, ghostly listeners. Rebecca here. It's been a while since I've read you a creepy bedtime story, but it's time to bring this spine-tingling good time back. Join me on Patreon for exclusive new readings of classic ghost stories. Every month, I'll be reading frightening tales from my favorite authors. A perfect way to go to sleep with the sweetest, most terrifying dreams. Join Ghostly's new Patreon by visiting ghostlypodcast.com and clicking on Patreon on the menu bar so you don't miss any of my creepy bedtime stories. Talk to you soon.
Okay. We're reluctantly back.
I'm enjoying this. I don't know.
Now,
if you
do we
like
need
it.
to take a
This
vote
is-
for
Oh, yeah.
Alan Rickman?
Do
That's
we?
a good.
Do
that's
we
a good
really?
point.
Yeah.
Do we need to?
We
assign
do.
points.
I think we
Yes.
do.
Okay, well, I'm going to
yes.
be 0.
You're going to be 0. Okay, all right.
No joke.
Dr. Hickney, how about for you?
I'm going to say 42.
40 out of 10.
It's the answer to life, the universe, and everything. And also, it means that I'm very positive about this. 42.
42.
Okay, wow. And our
Very
expert, what would you say?
I'd say the square root of 200. That's what I'm putting down. It does not need to be a rational number, and this is not a rational topic. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm
Okay.
It
doing
definitely is not rational.
All right.
Definitely
well,
is not.
I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna give this one another 8. Maybe no. Maybe a 9.
A 9?
I'm going to go 9.
That's good.
Yeah, because
What the
honestly,
heck?
our guests are really, they've got so many examples. And again, Dr. Hickney had another personal example that's happened to him. So it's hard for me not to take that. So
Okay. All right. So we're going to continue. And this one is a very beloved actor. Most people from the 80s and 90s remember him as one role only, but he did have a long and lustrous career. We are talking about the legend who is Jim Varney.
Yes, of course.
Varney was born in Lexington, Kentucky on June 15th, 1949. As a child, Varney seemed gifted at memorizing long poems. So he grew up watching cartoons, and his mother realized that he was able to imitate the cartoon characters. So she started him in children's theater when he was 8 years old. Varney began his interest in theater as a teenager, winning state titles in drama competitions. And at the age of 15, he portrayed Ebenezer Scrooge in a local production.
wow, I would not have pictured that.
Yeah. Varney studied Shakespeare at the Barter Theater in Virginia. He would later become a regular cast member on the television show The Johnny Cash and Friends. Did you ever see that, Dr. Hickney?
No, I didn't even know that existed, but now I want to watch it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Varney also toured as a stand-up comic. His specialty was character comedy. He would impersonate numerous characters with elaborate backstories, many of which would find their way into his later films and television commercials.
Okay.
Varney's best-known character is Ernest, who would address the camera as if speaking to a friend, using his trademark catchphrase, "Know what I mean, Vern?" In 1980, the first commercial featuring the character advertised an appearance by the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders at Beach Bend Park, which was an amusement park. So we tie this back to Lucille Ball with the amusement park thing. Mm-hmm. This was located near Bowling Green, Kentucky. The character was franchised for use in markets all over the country and was often used by dairies to advertise milk products. For example, the dairy bar and hamburger chain Brahms ran several advertisements featuring Ernest. Purity Dairies, based in Nashville, Pine State Dairy in Raleigh, North Carolina, and Oakhurst Dairy in Maine ran commercials that were nearly identical, but with the dairy name changed.
Wow. So he's very associated with milk.
He is, yeah.
Okay.
The character of Ernest became widely popular and was the basis for a short-lived TV series, Hey Vern, It's Ernest. That was in 1988. And then a series of movies in the 80s and 90s.
I remember those, I think.
I do too, yeah. I grew up with them, yeah.
Some amazing documentary footage there. Absolutely.
Okay. Varney was a longtime chain smoker, and during the filming of Treehouse Hostage in August 1988, he developed a cough. And at first, he presumed it was a cold caused by cold weather in the filming locations. However, as it became worse, Varney began noticing blood on his handkerchief. When filming was complete, he sought medical treatment and was diagnosed with lung cancer. Though his condition slowly worsened, Varney reportedly threw his cigarettes away and quit smoking to continue performing because he loved it so much. He eventually returned to Tennessee, where he underwent chemotherapy. However, it failed, and he subsequently died on February 10th, 2000, at his home in White House, Tennessee. I didn't even know there was a White House, Tennessee, a city north of Nashville. And at the age of 50, he was buried in Lexington Cemetery in Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh, wow, that's young.
Yeah.
Yeah, very young.
Yeah, he died very young.
Ernest died young. Okay.
Such a sad
Jim
story.
Varney died young.
Yeah.
Ernest lives on in the hearts of all of us.
Well, and in the spirit world as well, of course.
Oh, okay.
What?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I personally have had personal experience with Mr. Varney. Back when I was getting my first doctorate in Bowling Green, I had a chance to make his acquaintance. He used to call me by my middle name, Vern, which was a very touching little thing that he did. But
so you're Vern.
I'm Vern. Yes.
Oh, wow.
I am Vern.
Wow.
Yes, that's not many people know that. I don't advertise it as a tribute to him because I want his spirit to infuse everybody. He was so much of a positive force and so active in this world. He did so many things.
He did,
Yeah, he did. He found a replacement for Santa Claus. He saved Christmas.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
He's gone to summer camp.
I remember.
But also, isn't he a convicted felon?
He is. He did go to jail, but those were on trumped up charges.
Okay, guys, we're talking about Ernest now, and this is no. No.
He's
he's not.
Basketball. He unfortunately he released an evil spirit into the wild at one point.
No, he didn't. That is untrue. These are his character. This is ridiculous.
Why are you so
Dr. Scumbaje, do you have anything about the actual actor?
Look, I have once again experienced firsthand this ghost.
Yes.
All right, Dr. Hickney.
I once went to camp and I was eating breakfast there, and the eggs, there was something about the eggs that were just erroneous about the eggs, and I could feel the spirit coming into me, and it scared me stupid.
Jesus.
That is a known syndrome in the scientific world.
Okay. So when you get that moment where you're just feeling stupid, that's the ghost of Ernest.
No.
You can actually channel. You can channel Mr. Varney if you were to pick up a child's toy, a slinky dog. If you were to pick up, you can hear his voice
in the reflecting sound from the
This
part.
Is all the character of Ernest.
Look, but just so you know, there is a way to ward off the spirit. If you just have some miak, you're good to go. Just consume a little bit of miak.
Wow.
All right. Reluctantly, I'm going to bring this to a vote. Dr. Hickney, where are you at?
Infinity.
Oh my God! It only goes up to 10.
Dr. Scumbaje.
Dr. Scumbaje, 1 or 0 through 10, please.
I'm double infinity.
You can't double infinity. That's impossible.
Wow.
Infinite.
That is impossible. That number does not exist.
Things that are impossible in this world.
That is correct.
That is definitely one of them. Okay. All right. Rebecca, where are you at with this?
This one I'm going to go with a 6.
Oh my God, you're going with the 6 though?
This is one where I will say, I think some of these sightings can be attributed to other things. I'm not as sure about it. But I'm still going on the believer side because that feeling stupid thing, I feel like that does happen, and it makes sense that it would be Ernest.
All right, so I'm of course 0 on this one. So, let's just do this really quickly. Overall, of all these 3 celebrities, where are you at, Dr. Hickney? What would you say the overall rating would be?
These Hollywood character or Hollywood celebrities, I should say, is what I mean.
Right.
Are these Hollywood celebrities haunting this earth?
A number on all 3 together.
Right.
All 3 together, yes.
Oh, gosh. I guess it would be infinity plus 42 plus 12.
No, that does not work. Okay, Dr. Scumbaje.
Well, you really haven't left me much to say in terms of the scale, so I'll just have to say super infinity.
That's not even a thing.
Super infinity.
That's not even a thing.
Mathematically, it is not, but scientifically, it is.
It's neither in both. It's okay. Whatever. Rebecca, where are you going to go with this?
I'm going to go in the middle then with an 8. Between my
number.
So halfway.
Halfway.
None of these things are just. Okay. All right. I'm gonna try to keep my cool here. I'm gonna go 0.
Trying?
I'm trying my best, Dr. Hickney. I am really trying my best.
We gotta be nice to our guests.
I'm gonna be nice to the guest here, even though.
Why are you turning red while you're trying to sin like that?
Because
red.
you know what?
Maybe he's inhabited by the spirit of Jim Varney.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yes, trying to make himself known.
I'm at a
to
zero.
Show the non-believer.
I'm at a zero, and I am politely going to move on to the next part, and that is our closing arguments.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Okay.
I don't know if Dr. Hickney, have you heard the closing arguments portion before?
I am just very confused, but I'm going to try my best.
Okay, so this brings us to the closing arguments. This is our last chance to convince you to vote our way. Even though we're not going to do a vote on this one, I don't think it's needed. We are each given 1 minute of uninterrupted time. Rebecca is going to time us all on her cell phone because my cell phone's being used for Dr. Scumbaje, which sounds a lot like Dr. Scumbag. Not saying that you are. I'm just saying it sounds a lot like that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
I have not come on this program to be besmirched.
That was cheap.
I don't mean to do this.
Sir, you offend me with your besmirchery.
Wow.
All right.
Well, Dr. Scumbaje, do you want to go first? Maybe that would.
Well, I would be happy to. All I can really say is that it's all very self-evident. I mean, if you've ever done any of these normal things, such as made wine with your feet, or gotten married to a Cuban band leader, or have saved Christmas by finding a new Santa Claus, or been a defense against the dark arts teachers, if you've ever been in any one of these standard typical situations, I think you'll find the spirit of one of these celebrities has touched you and you can feel their presence. I think it's all very obvious, and quite frankly, I think I have immense respect for two of the other people on this program.
Wow.
I'm not going to name names, but
okay. Well, you know what? You came. You had 15 seconds left, so good job there. Dr. David Hickney,
yes.
Are you ready? Again, you get a minute to kind of lay out your case here.
Sure.
All right.
And this is when you can state if you decided you're a believer on this,
right.
which I think we already know what that is.
Yeah.
I'm a believer.
I saw their faces, and I'm a believer.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and you can start anytime.
Good people of the jury listening to this. This is Dr. David Hickney. Just so you know, from my credentials, so that you understand my expertise, I have a PhD in cryptozoology from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, a pretty prestigious school. So you can take me for my word here, I would say, most likely. Also, host of the Freak of the Week, which is a fantastic show about paranormal and cryptids and all that stuff. So once again, expert. Anyway, have you ever at night while dreaming dreamt that you were falling, like plummeting to your death? That right there is proof of the ghost of Alan Rickman. Have you ever played the bongo drums badly while a Cuban man looked at you and shook his head? That's proof of Lucille Ball. Have you ever eaten miak in the moonlight to avoid attacks by monsters? That is the ghost of Jim Varney. Proof. Boom. Mic drop.
Wow. Oh, right at the end. Oh, you
Amazing.
Just made it.
Doctor, fantastic.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Rebecca, why don't you go now?
You want me to go?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to time myself. You're going to trust me, huh?
Yep, I'm going to trust you this time.
All right. Well, our illustrious guests have really said, I think, most of what needs to be said here. Again, because I've had that friend, who had the wine thing happen with the grapes. I mean, that was amazing. And, also I think anytime that, you do any kind of, capers, you're kind of, you got your best friend and you're just going to do something crazy, and try to avoid getting in trouble. That's the ghost of Lucy Ricardo right there with you. And then also, if you are in a situation, where, okay, so there's a lot of poor people on this earth, and sometimes you're trying to take from the rich and give to the poor. And then like someone is the sheriff is there, trying to stop you to doing that. I mean, well, that sheriff, we all know, who that is. So, it's, Alan Rickman. And so anyways, I'm running out of time, but I just have to say, I think that these celebrities absolutely are ghosts. They're here.
You're cheating. You're not even timing yourself.
Well, I was, but then I ran out of time because I had a lot of stuff going on.
Rebecca.
Let the lady talk.
Right.
She was doing such a fine job.
She was in the wrap-up.
Yes, give her some
I like
leeway.
this Skeptics Day.
I don't know why it's called Skeptics Day, honestly.
Okay. All right, I guess
skeptical about skepticism.
I guess I'm ready.
All right, I'm going to time you.
Okay, thank you.
And go.
Listeners, I am very, very sorry to ruin your Skeptic Day. I didn't think it was going to go this way. And also for the Actors Guild, I would like to apologize for
Is time up yet? Is it over?
Not yet.
I don't even know what I'm going to say. I'm sorry. Actors
you don't
Guild,
want to
I am
besmirch?
very sorry for besmirching these legends in your craft. My intention for this was purely to talk about the ghost of the actors, not the characters at all. And I am so sorry. And I'm so sorry that we ruined Skeptics Day. That's
It's been a great skeptic. Oh, good. You had time left.
You sound a lot like my sister.
Oh, Dr. Elizabeth.
Dr. Elizabeth Hickney, yeah.
Yeah. So, Dr. Scumbaget, where could they find you if they want to reach out to you, or what do you have going on?
Well, I'm sitting here inside my metal box, but what I really like to do when I have some free time, and you could probably reach out to the hosts of this for me, is I listen to a podcast called From X to Z, which is a cross-generational nerd culture podcast where the two hosts will often talk about various nerd topics from the perspective of two different generations, Gen X and Gen Z. It's very entertaining, and there's a lot of lively discussion and humor and all that kind of stuff. So
that is the first thing that I agree with you on during this whole entire thing.
Yes,
I have heard that show too.
Show.
It's really great.
All right,
so everyone's listening to it.
Definitely give them a shot. I've talked to them before. They can reach out to me.
Okay. So, Dr. Hickney, what's going on in the freak world?
Hey, true believers, if you're listening to this, you should listen to my show, Freak of the Week. It's amazing. We take calls from people, and we talk about a different topic every week. It's different creature or phenomena, and we're in season 3 right now, and we've got some great stuff. We just had an episode on narwhals, which I don't think exist.
Oh, they do, though, I think.
No, they do. I don't think so. At least.
I think there is some scientific question on that. Absolutely.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm sorry on Ghostly X that we announced your half sister, and you weren't aware of her, of Liz.
Mm. Yeah.
So I want to apologize for that too. That was probably difficult, and it was not my intention at all. I just want you to know that I try to show you nothing but respect, Dr. Hickney. I'm sorry that this episode went the direction it did.
I think this episode was the best one I've had with the two of you, whether it's been Ghostly X or Freak of the Week. I've enjoyed this immensely.
Okay.
That's good. So, and actually, yes, listeners, if you want to hear more of Dr. David Hickney's story, we did do an interview with him for Ghostly X, which is our Patreon show. So if you want to hear that, just go visit Ghostly Podcast or patreon.com/Ghostly Podcast. That's it. Or go to our website.
Go to Ghostly Podcast. Go to ghostlypodcast.com, click on Patreon, and it'll take you there. Yeah. And you can become a member. We have various different tiers. We just added a new tier for business partners.
Yeah, if you'd like to be
if you want to sponsor the show, you can become a business partner right there.
Oh, you guys need sponsors? I've got sponsors I can share with you.
No, I'm good with that. With those, I mean,
Okay.
I've heard some of your sponsors.
Yeah, there's some great ones.
Yeah, I've heard them. Yeah. So, anyways, I want to thank you both for coming on Ghostly and presenting your side of the
it was great. So informative.
Yes, it was a pleasure, Dr. Rebecca, Dr. Hickney.
It's not Dr. Rebecca. She has
Not
masters. She has master's degrees.
I'm still working on
I
it.
feel like we're almost
Mistress
there.
Rebecca.
Almost there?
Almost
Okay.
there. Feels like
Yeah. So thank you both so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
that was a weird it.
Yeah. I'm
not
sorry. I'm
entirely
just.
We
sincere.
do. We appreciate it very much.
I just need to, maybe calm down a little bit. Maybe zen out and,
He always calms down eventually.
Yeah. Well,
Listen to some Alan Rickman. That'll help calm you down.
Oh,
Or Alanis
absolutely.
Morissette.
That sonorous voice. Yes.
Alanis Morissette, she's God.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So thank you both. All right. Whew. And just so you know, I took a break after that. So now I've had a chance to calm down a little bit.
Oh, you're all right.
Just remember, everything on Freak of the Week is totally made up. So
Completely fictional.
although there are stories of Lucille Ball's haunting.
Yeah, that one actually could be an episode.
Yeah. Although we've already given the history now.
I guess
so.
that's true. The history parts were true.
And Dr. Simon Scambage
Yes.
was played by one guest that's just been recently on Ghostly, Mr. Alan Morgan.
Mr. Alan Morgan.
Yeah. He was on the Bela Lugosi's apartment
Yeah,
episode.
you just heard him, so now you're hearing him again.
Yeah, but as character,
Yep.
And Dr. David Hickney is not at all the producer of the show, Nick Mataragas.
Right. No, Nick Mataragas is definitely not Dr. David Hickney.
Although they look a lot alike, they dress in the same kind of clothes that have the same amount of wear on them. That's what I noticed too at the C2E2 picture of them.
Oh, right.
That not only were they dressed exactly alike, they wore the clothes exactly the same way, and it was equal wear on both of their outfits.
Right, but they're not the same
So they must
person.
have bought it the same day, and they must wash it at the same time every single time. That's a lot of coordination.
It is. And
So-
they don't even talk to each other.
Yeah,
that
not at
much.
all Nick Mataragas.
No, not.
So you can find Freak of the Week wherever you find great podcasts. You can find From X to Z wherever you find great podcasts. Both of them are worth a listen.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank everyone so much for sticking it out this episode. Please share us with your friends and family, as word of mouth is our best advertisement. I hope you guys had as much fun as we did.
Absolutely.
And if you did, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you didn't, then just pretend this never happened.
It was all a dream.
It was all just a dream. Yeah. We will be talking about Lafayette's blacksmith shop on the next Ghostly. That's in New Orleans.
Yeah, we're going back to New Orleans.
Back to New Orleans. Back to the Big Easy,
Big
right?
Easy, you got it.
And the next episode comes out on April 13th. And if you are a patron on Patreon, the next Ghostly X, we will be interviewing the man who knows everything, Mr. Jack Chavez. It was funny because when I was typing that in, the man who knows everything, it put the next word as me.
Oh.
Yeah. And I don't know everything. I don't even pretend to.
But Jack does.
But Mr. Jack Chavez does, and that comes out on April 4th. So, in no particular order, here are the VIP producers of Ghostly, as said by Patreon. We have Becky,
Natalie,
Ta,
Ernie,
Marisol,
Shayla,
Cindy,
Nicole,
Darnay,
Jessica,
Sarah,
Linda,
Alice,
Austin,
Hope,
and Candy.
and Candy. Yeah, we got them all there.
Yeah.
So we are so grateful for all of you. We really consider them to be producers of the show as they help us move the show along, and they give us great suggestions too.
Absolutely.
So until next time, what do you want to do, Rebecca?
Stay ghostly.
Stay skeptic.
Oh. Bye.